When I was a kid, we used to have a culture where we call Creole culture. That we come together and we play drums and we play music and we dance around in a ring. And that all changed for us. So we get older and then we don't continue it because most of the people that went away from here. Monk River is one of the oldest coastal township in Belize. We have been here for 172 years. For me, it's the natural beauty of here what's really keep us here.
You know, it's a small village. It's not like when you're in a big town. We just live together like a big family. This is home. This is where my heart is.
53 years now I'm part of this community. That's my whole life.
It's a community where most people are self-employed. So we have a lot of freedom that we can do whatever we feel is right for the benefit of us and our communities. We have several different ecosystems that are very crucial and very important to us, such as the river itself that supply the sand to maintain our beaches. And then we have the ocean, and that we depend upon as a source of livelihood. So all the natural resources around us we depend upon. If not, we couldn't be surviving here in this community.
Sea surface temperatures are warming excessively in the Caribbean. I think this year NOAA has indicated that in the North Atlantic it is 9 degrees warmer than normal. We are already seeing decline in fishing across the Caribbean, including Belize. This is an extremely vulnerable place.
I first noticed the coastal erosion when I was going to school, like 12 years old.
Monk River village coastline changed drastically in 1996 to now.
We have lost over 40 lots. Those were people's property. Some people had to relocate, move either further back, or some people moved away.
Pretty much it's at my mom now. So we've been fighting it for years.
Right now, our biggest problem and where most of the erosion is taking place is the south part of the village, where our cemetery lies. We have lost like half of our cemetery. It's currently now in the water. For me, it's very heartfelt because now I've lost my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncles that are buried there. They are now in the sea. And so that's the part that really hurts right now. So that area there we need to address so that we don't lose any more graves to the sea. The first thing we had to do was identify the source of the problem and then coming up with a plan to address that problem. The impact has started with the flow of the river. So the river does not have the flow anymore to bring that sediment out to replenish the beach. What that does, it's impacting seagrass beds, coral reef, and then that is going to impact our fish stock, and so it will certainly impact our source of livelihood from fishing as well. If we don't get that watershed to function so it can restore these beaches, Monk River won't be here. So we currently have what we call a roadmap for the restoration of the functionality of the Monk River watershed. And that includes creating a seawall to protect this community so it can be here for the next 150 years or more.
We brought in some volunteers from Independence and Placencia with the help from here, and they did a seawall and they built it up with rocks that they move with hand.
Since we put that seawall in, we start to trap some of the sand and we see some of the beach building north of that wall. So if we can do more of this, we think that we'll be all right. We are still trying to find funding to try and put back some of what was lost here to protect some of these homes and then create that seawall to further protect the community. And I think those things are doable.
We have made incremental progress over the years. However, we need to take a much more rapid action. Belize has lived with extreme events before. We have been able to adapt after a while. However, the changes that we are now seeing are really stretching the ability of us to be resilient to it. And we now need to look at other systems around us to help us to address these crises.
If I was to describe Monk River in one word, wow, what would that be?
Happiness. And happiness, life we live cool and no stress.
I would say love.
Nowhere else in the world is like this for me and for all of us that lives here. That's why we don't want to go from here. We live free. So if we do not take care of what we have, we won't have anything. You know? That's what it is for me. This is a magnificent place.